slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No I'm not giving up, no I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Settled in for the race. Carlos Cano goes from pole alongside Travis Lucas on row 3. The TV, Ethan Sparks and Remy San Juan go from row 4. Rounding out your top 20 is Osorio and Mikey Luis Sanchez, with Alex Longarella going for P21, your championship leader. And we do go race, and it's a great start for Pertelli from the front row of the grid, from 3rd place as he looks to take lead on the run to turn 1. Braking zone 2, turn 1 now. Carpusian as well. Braking zone 2, turn 1 now. Carpusian as well. Possessions. Carlos Cano already getting his elbows out on the run to turn 1. Already getting his elbows out on the run to turn 1. The rest of the field. Alvaro Lucas loses on now. Ground himself. Alvaro Lucas loses on just ahead of Ethan Sparks, but it's a 67 on Pertelli. Ethan Sparks, but it's a 66
for the number 69, the perfect start that he could have asked for. As for Pertelli as well, exactly what he needed to get off the line and into P1. Cano down to P5.
Nice and clean for the entire field in this one. 13 laps do remain. A move now being made for Tassini as he looks to reclaim that second position. And Carlos Cano, well, he's sitting inside the top 5 at the moment. Incident at turn 5, and that is going to be a fall. That's going to mean the TV
come out further ahead, if you like.
Yeah, and a lot of shuffling now being done as he crossed the line. You can see in the TV that was your crash over at turn 5 on the opening lap, but confirmation of that fall for the number 9. As now moves beginning to be made. Almeida,
if he can get ahead, take the long lap and still remain in that top 4, who look like they've broken away as he makes the move into turn 7. A brave move there for Bahosa. Can he hold it through 8? He can, but Cano might be able to get a run into turn 9.
Into turn 9 we go now. It's going to be all about the slipstream. You can see confirmation of the corner speed matters, and this is the classic. You tend to see riders run it a little bit too wide.
Running on the green during the race, but not the last lap, you will receive warnings, and too many infractions will see you get a long lap penalty. We just see the leads.
Yeah, Cano continues to lead over at turn 10. He's got Alvaro Lucas on the outside, and that's going to invite an opportunity for Tassini, not only to go into second, but also briefly the lead. But he ran it wide, and Cano straight away taking no prisoners. He's already back into P1, already defending his slot.
And a second off the lead. He's at the back of the lead group, so if he did serve it correctly, it has worked out fairly well for the number 69.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure Race Direction will have a double check at that and make sure that everything was served. Right as looking up the inside is Alvaro Lucas. Can he hold on to the lead? No, he cannot, because it's Bertelli from the outside. And that's now Alvaro Lucas ahead of him. Now number 51 of Dakigan just ahead as well. As Carlos Cano is back, as we do have a follower down there, and we wait to see exactly who that is. Yellow flags, of course, out at turn 7, losing the front on the entry to things. And Fernando screens, the number 14 is down. Fernando Bajosa loses the front over at turn 7, and that's all she wrote in Barcelona. And on the rear wheel of Bertelli. He has a good drive. He'll have a little bit of a slipstream as well in the run to turn 1 as well. Well, Bertelli, as we head towards turn 1, 4, 5 wide, 6 wide between the front runners. Incredible stuff from ETC yet again. Karpushin working his way into the podium places now.
Let's pretend this panic given what's happened, the drama from yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening with the penalties. Bajosa's amazing stuff, a defining weekend in this year's title fight.
Well, yeah, exactly. We were just looking back at how Bajosa was able to pick up so much moves on the opening lap, and then sadly for him, everything unfolded. Borelli now back up into the podium places.
He pushes the crash, the most important thing. But yeah, losing the front a bit wide on entry, and that's the race done for Bajosa.
And now it's all on what can the likes of Carlos Cano and Alex Longarella do. Longarella, however, hits the front of things. That's exactly what he needs to be doing. Carlos Cano, if he's seen that move behind, if not, it's going to be on it with 6-7 on Bertelli, continues to lead. Tension down there in the 72 Art Box Racing team squad. Well, final couple of possessions actually inside the points. Tamburini and Ethan Sparks taking up them. Finn Krakaville, he was involved in this lead fight. Now though,
and that's for taking shortcuts at turns 1, 2 and 3 and without losing sufficient time.
Yeah, of course, you need to lose around the second in that sector, otherwise you will be slapped with a penalty for it, as you see a few more moves being made over at turn. State victory here, obviously, but as well they will need to keep in mind they're both from the Pacino Racing squad, and the last thing they're going to want to do is collide or make any sort of contact with each other, but certainly it's been those two in the top 2 for majority of this race in the last couple of laps. Is now Carlos Cano there on Karpushin. It seems to be a turn 5 hotspot for Luke, as he loves to make a move through there, as he does look up the inside of Travis Borg as well. Thinks better of it on the M-Lab race and rider. Carlos Cano in the meanwhile looks towards a move at turn 9. Perhaps he'll just sit behind and try.
The riders on the final lap to make that move. Of course, you could compromise your exit, which then means you lose it on the run to line. So it would be interesting to see how these different strategies play out. One thing to note, we are approaching 2/3 race distance. So if a red flag was to come out, results would be called, race would be called, full points awarded. We see Travis Borg going up the inside from P4 across the
corner of turn 4, but he does hold on to things. Will Alvaro Lucas launch another attack at turn 5? Yes, he will. The 46 loves a move here at Barcelona, as long towards this final 3 or so laps.
Not seeing too much, but I say now the advantage on the run into turn 10, but doesn't have the slipstream. In fact, he's creating the slipstream for Alvaro Lucas, Travis Borg, and Borelli. Borelli looking to go up multiple places, but can't quite make the move stick. Can I always see a crasher?
That's Bertelli began to drop down. The order's confirmation of his fall. Definitely not what he'd be hoping for in this one. Actually, Sanchez.
It settles for P2.
You can just see walking away from the gravel trap, it was Bertelli.
Yeah, it looks like it was Mikey Lou Sanchez and Bertelli. Yeah, we had confirmation of the number 55 being involved in that crash at turn 10. A shame for both of them, as they were enjoying very strong races. We see Borelli look like he was going to try a move for P1.
Team rider that remains in the race, and here's another view of it. So just looking for a move down the inside, you have to say, was Mikey Lou Sanchez.
It's Ramadipa now who leads the field, and Cano has dropped down to P7.
Yeah, Carlos Cano dropping down the order yet again, and Ramadipa, what a year it's been for him, of course. Took his first win over at Magny Cours of the season, and what a victory it was. He's shown that he can be aggressive on this last lap. sitting in third place, and of course these little incidents, these collisions are putting less and less riders in this group, therefore there's less people for you to get mixed up in. But Lucas running wide, and now he drops down to P3, promoting the likes of Ramadipa back into the lead. And
we spoke about penalties for Bahosa and Longarella, but also Ramadipa was given the back of the grid start, so he's now fought his way perhaps a bit under the radar to take the lead of this race with 4 laps to go. Unlikely he's going to hold that on this long run into turn 1 with the slipstream that his rivals will get, as Carlos kind of once again taking the normal racing line, although we see the number 51 of Daquan also take that line, but it's berate
at turn 4. We've seen it time and time again from him. Travis Borg wide off the circuit in the background, but he does rejoin, and Longarella moves through briefly before being sat up by the number 1. To turn 5 we go now.
Turn 5, a crucial moment. Are we going to see any moves? It looked like Longarella on the inside of Cano does.
Pirelli's looking nice and comfortable at the front of this race. I think it's fair to say the number 7, he's looking nice and confident, and certainly over the line, just over 1/10 of a second he held. He's showing no signs of pressure. However, Tassini still in the running for the AC Racing team. A slight gap forming between himself and go down the straight. Usually those gaps close nicely.
Those gaps will close nicely as we see Longarella. Does he make the move on break? Not this time. Cano right behind in P3 up the inside at turn 11. Had to stand up a little bit. Stays on the bike but loses a couple of bike lanes to the number 45. He'll gain those back through the next couple of corners.
Rehearsal as we have a little replay, a little look back to this moment for Carlos Cano. Briefly lost the rear as he got on the power. Nice. Though on these final 2 laps, it's certainly building to be a showstopper in the European Talent Cup. Will it be Cano? Will it be Ramadipa? Could it even be Tassini? We're going to have to wait and find out as Ramadipa hits the front.
Ramadipa hitting the front at turn 1. We've seen him be at the front of the field throughout this race, despite that penalty that he was given. It's a remarkable comeback.
Yeah, and certainly Carlos Cano's father watching on with a little bit of tension, I think it's fair to say. Watch his son do battle out on circuit. Currently Cano showing sitting around 6th or 7th position out on circuit. A big moment there for the number 51. Cano's going to take advantage of that as Longarella also looks up the inside at turn 5. It's full on elbows out action. Nobody prisoners for this one. Karpushin up into 2nd as well. He's gone under the radar after fighting his way from about 5th or 6th position.
He has gone under the radar, but now, as we said before, last couple of laps, this is the time to get in position to make the move on that final lap. We see Lucas having a potential.
This is the dress rehearsal, and it is now over. It's all time. It's time for elbows out action at the front of things for the European Talent Cup. Remember their sole race of the weekend. 25 points here in Barcelona before 25 points up for grabs in Valencia. The champions will go into the final round. Well, better way to decide this race. They head towards turn 1 yet again, but Carlos Cano, the number 1, is on the attack. Watch for Alvaro Lucas as well on the 46 CF Motor Machine. Now tipping into turn 1 it is Carlos Cano who leads the way.
Leading out of turn 1, he'll be vulnerable down into turn 5. You would think the field will close up on him, and if he remains in P1 into turn 10, but Cano will want to be out in front. He'll look to try and build a gap. Maybe he can work with Ramadipa, who's challenging him at the moment, heading into turn 4. We'll see what happens. Oh, there's a bit of contact between Ramadipa and Borg there.
Yeah, Travis Borg there, a little bit of contact between himself, and will look to be Alvaro Lucas actually out on circuit. Ramadipa running nice and comfortable at the moment in P2, but Carlos Cano at the front of things. Has he waited for the perfect? But it's all going to be on what sort of advantage he has on the run to turn 10.
At the last sector point, he was a 10th.5 clear of Ramadipa. That's going to close out through turns 9 and 10. Potentially not enough to be short of P1 on the exit, but it will be close. It was only like they touched the green, so something to keep an eye out for potential penalties.
The inside line Cano has. He launches a move up the attack at turn 10, and he has made it work on Ramadipa. Alvaro Lucas also making some moves, and that looks to be a few mistakes further down the order, so not what he'd be hoping for at all, as we do continue on at the front of P9 after that era. But Carlos Cano, 2 corners now remain. Will it be himself or Ramadipa? Could it be a last corner move? The 32 looks up the inside, but Cano swoops round, and it is going to be Carlos Cano who takes victory, or will it be? It's a drag race, it's a photo finish at the line, and they're showing 7,000 of a second. Carlos Cano, 2nd place for himself, but a massive day in the championship. Ramadipa, what a final sector. Your reigning British Talent Cup champion, showing once again he deserves a place in this championship full time again next year. Let's hope we see something
where it's going to be an all-out title. Sider.
I feel incredible right now. I still cannot believe what I just do in this race because it's very difficult race, very tough race. First I want to say Alhamdulillah, thank you to Astra Honda Racing Team, my team, Junior Talent Team, and also all my sponsor. Ya Alhamdulillah, ini untuk Indonesia dan juga untuk keluarga saya, ayah. Ini buat ayah. Dan juga untuk Astra Honda Racing Team dan juga Junior Talent Team, terima kasih sudah bekerja minggu ini dengan sangat baik.